What's going on, everybody? Kenny Dubs here with another Atelier Reslieriana video. Now, this time I'll be taking on the score battle 8-2. Next in the score battle, I guess score battle series for chapter 8. This year I did end up getting a double S rank on this, so that's quite nice there. And this battle gives you the glowing loot orb, so let's take a look at the team real quick. It's going to be basically the same strategy as last time, but instead of using Christmas Resna, I'm using Bolt Resna this time. Same strategy. Just going to try to get the burst on Bolt Resna, burst down the opposition, and deal a massive amount of damage that way. Other than that, it's basically the same team, as you can see, because it has the same people. It's just a different variation of Resna this time around. So let's get into the battle. So, once again, I think it's important to note that the timeline is static. No matter how many times you reset this fight, the timeline will be the same. So here, what I do now, if you're using the same team I am or something similar, you can go for an S2 turn 1. However, S2 turn 1 risks getting a crit on the Ice Flower Spirit, and as you take a look here, it creates a positive panel hit by a critical attack. It creates a lot of blue panels, and when I was doing some test runs, I would crit with S2, and then that would end up putting a blue panel on the wolf, and then the wolf would end up killing Oscar. So rather than just like playing around with RNG, just so that I can get a good run off, I just go ahead and S2 someone. It doesn't matter all that much, because Resna is here to make sure that I deal lots of damage later on in the fight. I break the bat first, because the bat's using an AoE, I don't want to get hit with that. The wolf can attack Oscar, that's fine. Then we have Keith. Now, if I remember correctly, I think... I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this, because some runs I didn't break the Ice Spirit here, but other runs I did. I think I leave the Ice Spirit there. And I can... I don't remember if Raze can break this by itself, so I'm going to do that. And then here, I can break this like that. An S2. Now, it does kind of suck. I have to let this resolve, but it'll be fine in the end. So now I can do one of these. I don't think it really matters who I hit, to be honest. Just hit someone. And then we S2 with Resna here. And that lets Resna get the burst panel. Now I think... I can just go for you, right? Oh, maybe I should have targeted the weenie enemy here, actually. Actually, I don't think it matters all that much, but... yeah, so I'm just gonna break you. I think breaking them actually gets rid of their protection as well. So now, as you can see, we have the burst panel on Resna. Now, Resna doesn't seem to do all that much damage, as per last time, but Tonic Double Draken. This will increase our crit damage. This will increase our burst damage by 60%. Well, 60% per Draken. And now you can see we do a lot more damage. And then when we click it, lots of damage gets dealt here. And now we can just slowly start to pick off the rest of these enemies here. I don't remember exactly how I went about doing this my first time. I don't think it really matters at this point. But like, generally, you just go ahead and aim for whatever has the highest HP. Because that just results in getting the most value of it later on. So then I can raise burst here. I'm gonna raise burst the wolf, I think. I'm not sure if the wolf would die otherwise. No, I'm gonna burst this because I have Corneria right before Resna, and I can also crit with my other party members as well. Luckily, no paralysis on Corneria. I don't think it mattered all that much. But just to make sure I get the wolf down. No crits there. That's fine. And then do it with Keith. Although I think in my first run with this, I think I didn't get a crit at a certain point. So Keith got the burst there. And right here, we get the double S rank. Once again, a little bit lower than my initial run. I guess I somehow did a bit less damage this time around, even though it was a turn faster. But you know what? That's fine. And then we get the rewards. And real quick, I'll just show off the team. Even though it's the same as last time, I'll show off the team anyway, just because it's good to show the team. And just in case you saw this video and not the last video. Same gear as last time. Click that. The stun damage stuff on my breakers. Having bells is important though for speed tuning. And then the Memoria here is just because Keith is very, very slow. So that's why I have that Memoria there. Corneria just has generic breaker stuff as well. I see physical stun damage boost all over bells. And her Memoria doesn't really matter either. I kind of just slapped one on there. I was like, all right, well, I don't really need a fast Memoria on you because Corneria is already very fast. Then Resna. Resna is the only new member of this team. My rest of the year is going to look funky. The reason for that is because I have skill power 10 on this Bloody Claw here. So that's 50% skill damage boost. So that's why I put it on there. Outside of that, you know, just my Passion Envoy's coat as well because I have double skill damage 5 there. And Memoria Bracelet, actually. Before I put on the Memoria Bracelet, I didn't deal enough damage with my burst. So even though this is a little bit worse in terms of my skill damage power up, I think it's like 5% less. I think this is 30. Yeah, this is 30. I get a 20% boost to my crit damage, so that's why I swapped that there. And it was the little bit extra that I needed, so that's very nice. And then the card here is, or the Memoria here is just the attacker damage up. I probably didn't necessarily need this Memoria. I think any of these 31% Memorias would have been fine. But since this one also has an effect for attacker, I slapped it on there. Raise's gear is largely the same as well. Helioproc, Shlard, Remont, and Bells of Disruption. This physical stun damage boost there. And his Memoria is a speed Memoria. Is my fastest Memoria I have. So I gave him the ton of study as well. And Oscar. I think Oscar has the worst gear on the team. Serene Envoy's Blade is actually doing a lot of heavy lifting for me because the reduction from this alongside the Angel Orb 5% and then the physical damage reduction here is actually quite nice. It allows Oscar to survive some attacks that he might not otherwise survive, as a lot of the times, well, my Oscar's left with like critical HP because I have to take so many hits. But if you have Sophie, you know, you just use Sophie instead of Oscar. I just use Oscar because he's probably the best thing I have right now. My other options aside from Oscar is Judy, and Judy's a lot slower than Oscar, so I like to use Oscar a bit more right now. And he has self-healing, which is very helpful in making sure that the damage taken remains as low as possible, because I have a little bit of healing on him, and he has low wait time on a skill 1. Yeah, but that's it for this run. Again, I hope this gives you some ideas on how you can go about taking on the stage. I believe you can, again, swap out Bolt Resna with probably Izana if you have her, because Izana does have AoE on her skill 2. Thing is though with that is that you don't get the huge amount of burst damage in an AoE setting, so you probably have to play the stage a little bit differently because of that. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys next time. Later.